Anamika Yadav studying in class 8E. Welcome to the Times of MGM. First of all, some international news. Malaysian Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin resigns after failing to get majority support. India going to issue emergency e-visas for Afghan nationals who seek to visit India due to prevailing situation in Afghanistan. China pressurized WHO research team to drop out lab leak theory, claims chief investigator. A powerful earthquake measuring 7.2 on Richter scale hit the parts of African nation Haiti. Now some national news. Prime Minister Modi declared August 14 as the Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Prime Minister Modi and President Ram Nath Kovind, among the other dignitaries, paid tributes to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his death anniversary. Pegasus issue has been clarified in the Parliament by IT Minister Vaishnav, claims government. Now some state news. Power Grid Corporation of India Limited received a certificate of appreciation for its valuable contribution in combating COVID-19 situation in state. Fire breaks out at Jawaharlal Nehru Hospital in Bhilai. Now some sports news. India beats England by 151 runs in the second test match. That's all for today. Thank you and I wish you all a very cheerful day. Stay tuned to our channel for further update. Stay safe and spread awareness.
Hello everyone. I welcome you all once again to the lecture series on artificial intelligence. And before going to our today's lecture, I want to take this opportunity to express gratitude towards students who have shown a great interest towards Atal Tinkering Lab by registering themselves for it in large numbers and which is beyond our expectation. But since we are facing pandemic and we have to follow the COVID guidelines for school, and to call all students at once will be a big challenge for us. But your interest to participate and your willingness towards artificial intelligence as well as Atal Tinkering Lab towards innovation, creation, and to develop your own projects or models are surely pushing us to take this challenge. And we are really excited to welcome you. We are going to kickstart Atal Tinkering Lab from next week, and under the guidance of our Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. B.D. Tharakan, and Mr. Saji Chaku Sir, as setting up of Atal Tinkering Lab is in MGM school is due to efforts of Mr. Saji Chaku Sir and other teachers as well. So we are looking forward to your active participation in this journey with the Atal Tinkering Lab. Further details regarding Atal Tinkering Lab will be sent to your mobile numbers with which you have registered and shown your interest for Atal Tinkering Lab. Okay, so let's come back to our today's session. Once again, we will have a quick recap of our previous lecture or previous online session. So, in our previous session, we have already discussed machine learning process with the help of AI project cycle. And as you all know, that AI project cycle has mainly 5 stages, and we have already discussed 2 stages of AI project cycle. Number 1 is problem scoping. Number 2 is data acquisition. So if you have not seen our previous lecture, you can go to our official YouTube channel, Mark Theodosius Memorial e-portal channel. Uh, and I will also ask you to please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. You will find a variety of infotainment videos in it, and you can also share this with your family, friends, and relatives. So now let's come back to our lecture. So let us see what are we going to learn today. So today we will continue with the AI project cycle. We were discussing machine learning process with the help of AI project cycle, and we will move forward from where we left in our previous session. That is from the third stage, that is data exploration, number four modeling, and number fifth evaluation. Okay. So we will discuss today the three stages left of AI project cycle. So AI project cycle has mainly, as you can see in your screen, has mainly five stages: problem scoping, data acquisition, data exploration, modeling, and evaluation. We have already discussed first two stages, problem scoping, data acquisition, in our last session, and today we will study or discuss briefly data exploration, modeling, and evaluation. So let's start with data exploration, the third stage of AI project cycle, that is data exploration. So as we have discussed in our previous lecture, where we saw the previous stage of data exploration, which was data acquisition where we collected or gathered the required data for our model. And if you remember, we also tried to take an example of poaching of animals, yes, by seeing a video where IBM, with the help of Crizal, actually developed an AI model so that they can prevent poaching of animals in Serengeti National Park in Africa. Yes, and they developed a model to prevent poaching of animals. So once the data has been gathered, now the work is to explore the data. Okay, so now the question arises, what is data exploration? So in data exploration, we actually visualize or unearth patterns or find trends or find relationships and draw an insight of data. एक्चुअली डेटा एक्सप्लोरेशन में जो पिछले स्टेज में हमने डेटा गैदर कर लिया है, we try to find or we try to analyze that data and draw a pattern or learn from the data. Okay, so here the most important thing we do is, or data science comes into play in this. Okay, uh, as data is gathered in the data acquisition stage, जो डेटा गैदर कर लिया गया है वो बहुत एक वास्ट लार्ज डेटा होता है. Okay, since every minute data is generated in whole world. Okay, according to a record, 1.7 MB data is generated by a person in a day. Okay, and this much data has to be analyzed, and that is why this much data that has to be analyzed, it is very difficult to handle it manually. Okay, and that is why data science comes into play, and with the help of data science we actually visualize the data, the collected data. उसको हम visualize करते हैं, उसका pattern, उसका trend find करने की कोशिश करते हैं through data exploration. And it is also important for us that we fine tune and refine the data. Okay, once we have got the data set, we actually fine tune and refine the data according to our model. And another thing which is most important thing to do is when we are gathering data from a source, it is also important for us that we don't breach data laws such as intellectual property, GDPR, etc. ओके, अगर हम डेटा गैदर कर रहे हैं, सो इस स्टेज में हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ये सारी चीजों का ध्यान रखना कि हम कोई डेटा का लॉ तोड़ तो नहीं रहे. ओके, डेटा ऑथेंटिसिटी एंड सोर्स शुड बी वेरीफाइड. ओके, जहां से हम ले रहे हैं डेटा उसकी ऑथेंटिसिटी और उसका सोर्स हमको वेरीफाई करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी होता है. दैट दिस ऑल थिंग्स वी डू इन डेटा एक्सप्लोरेशन. एंड पर्सनल डेटा सेट्स आर ऑलवेज be taken with the consent of the owner. ओके, जब हम किसी का पर्सनल डेटा अगर ले रहे हैं तो ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी होता है कि उस पर्सन का कंसेंट भी हमें मिले. ओके, so we have to take data from source. Actually we have to take data from source and not through process data channels. Okay, ये भी ध्यान में रखने की बात है कि हमको डेटा सोर्स से ही डायरेक्ट मिले. ओके, एक चैनल या प्रोसेस के थ्रू ना मिले, क्योंकि बाद में जाके क्रेडिट्स और बहुत सारी चीजों का इसमें ध्यान देना पड़ता है और उसके कारण we can find difficulties related to rules and regulations. Okay, so these all things we do in data exploration. Actually we visualize the data and try to find a trend and pattern from the gathered data so that it can be useful for our building a model. So here you can see different types of charts. Okay, this is how we visualize a data. Okay, once we gather a data, we try to set it or plot it into a chart. Okay, there are numerous numbers of chart, histogram, bar chart, scatter plot, pie chart. ऐसे करके हम डेटा को विजुअलाइज करते हैं and we try to find a pattern or trend or draw an insight of that data. Okay, we actually try to find the pattern which will be helpful for developing the model. So this is how we explore data. हम डेटा को इस तरह से एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, उसको विजुअलाइज करते हैं, पैटर्न और ट्रेंड खोजने की कोशिश करते हैं so that it can be used to develop a better model. Okay, now let us move to the fourth stage. So this is the fourth stage, modeling is the fourth stage of AI project cycle, where we actually build a model with the help of what we have already learned from the data. Okay, so after the data exploration stage, once the required data set is ready, now what we do, we actually divide this data set into training data and testing data using 80-20 रेशियो मेथड. ओके, एक बार जो हमारा डेटा एक्सप्लोरेशन स्टेज हो जाता है और जिससे हमने अब एक पैटर्न और ट्रेंड लर्न कर लिया है डेटा सेट से, नाउ इन फोर्थ स्टेज मॉडलिंग we actually divide that data set into two parts. Okay, the first is training data, which acquires approximately about 80% of the data set. Data set का 80% हम training data की तरह रख देते हैं, and the remaining 20% is used as testing data in next stage of AI project cycle. Okay, so फाइन ट्यूनिंग ऑफ मॉडल इज डन इन दिस स्टेज. ओके, मॉडल जो हम बना रहे हैं उसका फाइन ट्यूनिंग किया जाता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ ट्रेनिंग डेटा. ओके, एक्चुअली we have divided data set into two parts, training data and testing data. So we require training data in this stage. Okay, and so the 80% of the data set which we have selected as training data is used to train the machine or model with the help of algorithms. Okay, so with the help of training data and machine learning algorithms, machine is trained so that it can become a model. अब इस ट्रेनिंग डेटा को हम यूज करते हैं और मशीन एल्गोरिथम्स को यूज करते हैं एंड वी ट्रेन द मशीन टू बिकम अ मॉडल. ओके, then algorithms or techniques such as regression, classification and clustering are used depending on the data sets. Okay. एल्गोरिथम्स में कौन से टेक्निक्स यूज करते हैं तो मैथमेटिकल ऑपरेशंस ही होता है ये रिग्रेशन क्लासिफिकेशन एंड क्लस्टरिंग विच वी यूज to train the model. Okay, this techniques are used to train the model and uh, वो डिपेंड करता है कि रिग्रेशन यूज करें या क्लासिफिकेशन यूज करें या क्लस्टरिंग यूज करें. ये डिपेंड करता है टाइप ऑफ डेटा सेट. ओके, इट इज अ कैटेगोरिकल टाइप और अ कंटिन्यूअस टाइप. इसके इसके बारे में हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे इन आवर फ्यूचर सेशंस. वी विल डिस्कस व्हाट आर कैटेगोरिकल type of data set, what are continuous type of data set. So it depends on data set on what type of technique we are using to make a model. So this is how a machine is trained with the training data and the machine becomes a model. Okay, and this brings us to the fifth and the last stage of AI project cycle, which is evaluation. Okay. So in this stage, the efficiency of the model is evaluated with the help of testing data. Okay, so if you remember, we have actually divided the data set into two parts or two things, that is training data and testing data. And we use the training data in our fourth stage to train the model, and the left part which is testing data, which is approximately about 20% of the data set. This testing data is used to evaluate the model. Okay, एक्चुअली जो मॉडल हमने बना बना दिया है ट्रेन करके, अब उसका टेस्टिंग होना है. और this testing data has to be authentic one. It has to be, or we have to be very much sure about it that this data is without any errors, without any irregularities. ओके, हमें हमें पूरी तरीके से ये आश्वस्त होना है कि जो टेस्टिंग डेटा हम चॉइस कर रहे हैं, जो 20% हम पहले से डिवाइड करके रख रहे हैं, वो डेटा एक्यूरेट होना चाहिए, उसमें कोई इरेगुलरिटीज नहीं होनी चाहिए, उसमें कोई एरर नहीं होना चाहिए. हम पूरी तरीके से जब आश्वस्त होते हैं किसी डेटा के लिए, तभी हम उसे टेस्टिंग डेटा की तरह यूज कर सकते हैं. ओके, अगर वो ठीक नहीं होगा, इफ द टेस्टिंग डेटा हैज सम एरर्स, इरेगुलरिटीज और ओवरफिटिंग टाइप्स, ऐसा अगर कुछ उसमें होगा, that will affect our model. Okay, we will be unable to evaluate the model perfectly. Okay, as we are evaluating the efficiency of the model, the testing data has to be a perfect one or accurate one. And once the model is evaluated, now if the accuracy or the efficiency of the model is below 90%, अगर हम टेस्टिंग डेटा का यूज करके उस मॉडल को इवेल्युएट करते हैं, उसकी एफिशिएंसी और उसकी एक्यूरेसी देखते हैं, और अगर वो 90% से बिलो होता है, we do further improvements in that model by parameter tuning, and there are cross validation methods. Okay, these are actually used to improve the accuracy of the model till the time when the model gives a efficiency or accuracy of more than 90%. Okay, and once the model is able to achieve the optimum efficiency, the model is ready to be deployed for real time use. Okay, एक बार जब हम उसकी efficiency चेक कर लेते हैं और हमें ये पता चलता है कि मॉडल की एक्यूरेसी अब 90% के अबव हो गई है, then the model is ready to be deployed for real time use. If you remember, the last time we saw a video on poaching of animals and how Intel and Crystal developed the AI model to prevent the poaching of animals. एक्चुअली वो भी डायरेक्ट सेरेंगेटी जो अफ्रीका का नेशनल पार्क है वहां जाके वो डेवलप नहीं कर रहे थे उस मॉडल को. दे वर डेवलपिंग द मॉडल इन देयर कंट्री, इन देयर होम टाउन इन कैलिफोर्निया. वहां पे पहले उन्होंने ये एआई के प्रोजेक्ट साइकिल के सारे स्टेजेस को उन्होंने पार किया. And at final stage, which is evaluation of the model, where they actually evaluate the efficiency of the model with the help of testing data. उसके बाद जब वो पूरी तरीके से आश्वस्त हो गए, when they were able to find that the efficiency of the model is quite good, over 90%, they deployed that AI model to National Park of Africa, Serengeti National Park of Africa. So this is how we follow AI project cycle to build a model. Okay, and once the model is made or built, um, by going through this all stages, it is finally being deployed to the place or to the real world or to the real time use. Okay, so this will be all from our today's lecture session, and in our next session we will see machine learning types and other important topics inside machine learning. Thank you once again all for listening me patiently. We will meet on our next session with another online session on AI. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Thank you.